Welcome to Knackerbox Garage, a Scratchy Pants production.
In this episode, we finish up the B44 and we start on the T140. Exciting times.
Alrighty, so oil tank's full of oil. I kind of done this ask about face because really I need to kick the bike over. The inspection caps on this are 13/16 AF. I've just broken them, or broken the seal connection to get them off. So the inlet one's a bit tricky. I'm hoping I don't have to adjust that because I'm going to have trouble getting past the fuel tap. So really this should be done with the tank off, but I'm going to try not to. Looks like I'm at the top of the compression stroke as well. So just to come around the other side, I pulled the spark plug out. When one of these goes down, right, so that's the exhaust down. So we'll check the inlet for slack, and I'll do it the old-fashioned way of I don't know whether that's tight or not, or slack rather. Oh yeah, that's pretty tight, pretty loose. So I think it's going to be the little guy. I don't know what size it is. So one of the hot ups is to put Triumph adjusters in, because they have an Allen key, and it's easier to that worked. Just make sure that's the right size on this one because it's easier to get to. That is a bit sloppy. Is it 1/64 then? Nearly dropped it in the oil. Don't tell me it's something silly. Just for giggles. And this wouldn't be the first time. So these are metric. It's not that. I don't think it's metric. Nah, not at all. It's definitely imperial. Little loose. Tube there. I want. What size do I want? I think I'm looking at 7/16. No. It's not that. Can't be half inch. That'd be ridiculous, wouldn't it? It's not that either. .3/16 Whitworth, lovely. So you're in there. There we go. Should put the wrench on. And what we want to do is so I just do Rupert Ratio in his book on the B25 says if you can spin the push rod, that's good. So what I like to do is embrace that thought and do the same, but I do it slightly differently in that I do it by doing the tappet adjuster finger type, and there is Just a slight, maybe that's a little tight. What's that like? Just a little bit. This inlet one is the worst, which is why I'm starting with it. Come on, in you go. That's there. That gives me it's possibly worse than it was before. Oh, brilliant. Come on. This is all because I'm too lazy to turn the tank off, or take the tank off. Yeah, there's play there. On you go. There we go. That's there. Let's try that. We're going to say that one's good. Right. Get scuzz off my hands. Rotate it over and do it. The other one. So now I want the inlet down and the exhaust up. The inlet has gone too far. And, ooh, interestingly, that one's tight. So, we will how's that? That's a bit better. All these people who use feeler gauges are probably screaming at me now. So we'll try the inlet again, just to see. There we go, that's that one down. I'm going to slacken him off just a tad, because I'm a little nervous about that. There we go, that's better, that's better. A little bit of play in each. So I'll put the colours back on. Come on. Again, an operation that would be so much easier if I took the bloody gas tank off. And yet, I don't. Come on. Man, I'm making a meal of that. Whoop. Oh, that's... I don't know what that click was. That's me with the spark... the spark cap earthing out. A super, super good ignition system. Right, let's see. Get you on. That's on. These do have a tendency to come loose, so it's not super tight, but just tight. So the spark plug, probably a little rich. It could be oil. So I'm going to put it back in because it runs fine. And I think I've got, oh, I may have a spare. Let me have a quick look. Bike, doodah. I've got a spare one. On the shelf, I'll put one in. But I don't. Oh, I do. Look at that. These are for the Bonneville, same spark plugs. Brand new sparky plug. I need the thingy off the end, I think. Yeah, I do. So we'll put him in. If you're in trouble, or if you're after spark plugs for old British bikes and you can't find a Champion whatever, Auto Light from Advanced Auto number 63. That's the one. Bit of a nice pinch there. I need to get this off. The little nipple on the end that you want. Came off really easy. That on. Tighten them up. Plug back on. Now all we've got to do now is tidy up a little bit and then put the brakes on, the brake on and the footrest peg, and get them off the lift. So what I'll do is I'll do those things and then bring you back for a start up. So here she is, all done. I'll do the usual because this will make a fool of me. I'll touch this to prove it's cold and I'll try and start it for you. And every time I've tried this, it's failed miserably because I haven't got anywhere to put you to look at me that's close by. Well, let's go with this. You're going to sit on top of the trash. Let's just have a look from behind and see how that looks. Yeah, okay, that looks all right. So, we'll see how this works. Gas on. Give it a tickle. We'll do the factory way of getting it to the right point. That's the right point. Now it may take a couple of goes because, well, it might take a couple of goes, but I'm going to be, hopefully this won't make a fool of me. So, nearly. Try again. And there she is. I may not call her names after that one. That was a pretty good restart. Alright, that's it for the first episode of Knackerbox Garage. This is my Knackerbox. I've been Simon. Thank you very much.
So here's the embarrassing thing. Actually, it's halfway through episode 2. I thought I'd finish it on something, but I haven't. So when I say welcome to episode 2, you're already in it. Please excuse my abstract thoughts.
Welcome to another thrilling episode of Knackerbox Garages. This is possibly episode 2. You'll probably notice I'm wearing the same clothes as episode 1 because I literally have taken the BSA off the ramp, had a sandwich and come back with the T140 back on here. So the T140, this started my love affair with Triumph Twins in Meriden, and it must be a big thing because I still struggle with it. struggle's not the right word. I still have hope, still enjoy riding it, still am learning. It's a very interesting machine. This one's muchly modified, which probably makes it more interesting than most. Well, at least it does to me. It's got some fancy engine internals. I got a bit carried away with the rebuild and said, of course, if that's what they do on the race bikes, I'll have it. Which isn't the best. I've got roller bearings on both sides instead of a ball bearing and a roller bearing, which involves some shimming and some extra machining and all sorts of stuff, which is stupid because standard spares don't fit. So why did I do that? It's got forward port scavenging. Instead of the vent coming out of the primary, it doesn't breathe through the primary, breathes through the front, through the nose, which rumour has it is where it should really breathe through. There's a stainless steel pan scrubber in the cavity here to knock up the oil drops, and there's I've got a one-way valve that mounts around there that then loops the vent out to the back. It's fancy clutch cover, that's all it is, there's nothing else. What else have we done to you? Just put in a remote oil filter that sits here. Not sure whether you can see it there, but that's, well, let me pick this up. So before I was running a thing called Charlie's filter, which goes into the oil tube, and this is the main oil tank of the frame because it's an oil-in frame. That's where it gets its name from. And there's a sump plate just there, that alley thing. And you can put a VW car filter in there, and it's sort of alright, but it's not the best. As I'm using these on the BSA, and also on the Rickman, I've got one of these on the Rickman, I'm commonising on filters. It's just easier if I use the same thing for everything. This is the only place I could figure out where to put it. So I made a nice little bracket. It's my first this is the first thing I made with my TIG welder. So there's some rather nice TIG welding around the back, which you can't see, which holds the filter to the side bracket. The older I get and the more time I take with things, the better stuff turns out, ironically. So that's cool. Run a wasted spark, single coil twin lead, so both spark plugs are sparking at the same time. This is a 360 degree twin, so it's like bang, 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 bang. So it's wasted spark. Rickman's also the same. Rickman also has one of these on it. And I had an oil leak, which I was convinced was the top end, so I've taken the top end off. New valves, guides, everything. And it turns out that I had an issue with the oil pump. The oil pump wasn't seating properly, so it's got a Morgo oil pump in it. I don't know whether there's video of that or not from a previous session, but I've just buttoned that back up. I've gone back to the Brightech race exhaust, which is loud, but I won't be burning my leg on it, and I like the way it kicks out. To make a kind of a strange little bracket to support it. And it just needs a bit, it hasn't been ridden for a while. You can see with the rust on the disc. Alloy rims on it. I re-spoke these myself 4 years ago maybe. Bought spare hubs and did them. I've still got the original wheels upstairs. Anybody who knows T140s knows that the mudguard sits over to the left. It doesn't sit square in the frame tube, which when you're a noob and you don't know that, you centralise the mudguard. So my mudguard's off to the wrong side. The way I've mounted it, I can't really pull it back this way, so it's just going to stay like that. There's just some few things that I need to do. Actually, I may change that. One of the things that I'm going to do is I used to have turn signals here on the back. These are moving. I'm going to make... I'm going to do what I did with the Rickman. I've got these little Moto gadgets. These are going on. So I'll make a new bracket for the back. May actually, looking at this bracket, that's fairly decent still. I may TIG a little add-on there so I can have those. Then it's got digital dash, which it shouldn't have. I've just converted to solid mount, so the handlebars are solid mount, not the rubber. I'm going to make new headlamp brackets. It's going to have a complete rewire. My next job is to clean up the front brake, master cylinder lead. This is too long. and I should have shortened it, but I haven't. So I'll end up bleeding the brakes and doing that. The pads on it I think are pretty good, both sides. The brakes work really well on it because I use, it's got a Kawasaki Master Cylinder on it, and this in, I think it's 12mm, I'm not sure. What else with this? She did have. We were leaking a little bit around here, which is a common problem. This is a rocker shaft. My rocker shafts are a bit worn anyway, but I'm just putting it all back together. It will get a complete rewire. I sort of half did the wiring when I first put it together. Bought a wiring loom and thought I was doing a great job. I did an average job. So I'm going to do exactly what I did with the BSA, which is just wire it all manual. Just build the loom as I go. The switch gear, Kawasaki switch gear, I've just burnt all or cut all the leads off. This all needs cleaning up. I have got a replacement for this big ugly switch. I've got a small one. Again, one of these scooter jobbies. Like I've got on the, here it is. I've got this. So this one works really well. I've thought about using Bicycle Speedo, but not. I really, really want to emulate this headlight, but I don't want to. I want to try and keep the fork shrouds that I've got, which are these things. So I'll probably just make new brackets up. You know, kind of a nice washer and 2 pieces of strip that go back to a plate, and I'll TIG that up so it looks nice. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not going to shorten the mudguard anymore because there's I think 4 inches off the front and 4 inches off the back, but I cut off this. So this is really just needs a little bit of love, and it's slowly it's on the way back up. So I have to, I'm going to put the rocker covers on now. I did have a vent that came off the front rocker cover. I don't think I need that, so I'm just going to put a regular rocker cover on it. And then this is the oil tank breather. That should run all the way back and go down, point towards the chain. I think the chain tension on this is, yeah, probably wants to come back a little bit. Tyres are still good. It just needs sorting. I got very excited with it, threw it together, and I need to put it together properly, with a little bit more love and attention than I did before. So that's really it. It just needs things tightening up and sweetening up. That's all. So I may actually do I may correct the mudguard, especially if it's wonky, because you definitely notice it when you look on the back. You can see how there's that much clearance, and then there's nothing on here. So it does mean that when it's compressed, the tyre fouls on one of the mounting bolts here, which I really am not happy about. So these guys need turning round. So the nuts on the top, stupid things, just needs a bit of love and attention. Need to grease everything. I did get the primary part to look after the primary chain. That still needs tightening up a bit, so I need to do that. And that's it, really. So I'll start on that. I should probably start with the primary because everything's here. I should finish that. I've just I had an oil leak, which was, I hadn't done the sump plug up, and I put like 2 quarts of oil in it, and some of it was left on the floor. So I fixed that. I just put made sure all the hose clips are tight, so it should all be good. And I was just pushing it over to get the oil circulating. So let me adjust a few things. We'll get to the point where I can adjust a few things, and we'll start the camera again. I've done my usual, which is I've adjusted the primary chain tension, so now it's slightly more reasonable. And I've not shown you how I've done it, because there's a special tool that you get which slides in there and does all sorts of wonderful things. But I'm not going to pay for one of those, so I've got an impact driver set. Put the flat blade piece in there, and you get an 8mm spanner, or whatever that piece is, and lo and behold, you can adjust your primary chain tensioner. There you go. It's that easy. No special tools needed. Flat driver piece off your impact driver. 8mm spanner. Job's done.